Hey everyone, it's Jassy here, welcome back. So in today's video, I thought I'd do something very different and do a reflections video and talk a bit about my trip here in Caleta de Fuste in Fuerteventura. So that behind me is the ocean. So it's a lovely terrace here. If you're staying in the Eurostars Las Salinas hotel, it's a 4-star hotel. And maybe we kick off with talking about the hotels. So this was the third hotel that I stayed in of 3. The other ones were Blue Star, Porto Caleta, and the Barcelo Fuerteventura. Oh, actually, it was the Barcelo Castillo Hotel. There's like 3 of them. So let's talk a bit about each one. But let's start with the Blue Star Hotel, or Blue Sea rather. So that was a really good hotel. I mean, in terms of value for money, it was a great stay. I paid about £46 per night, so super cheap, budget hotel. It didn't have any breakfast in it, but that's okay. I mean, you know, it was good for what I paid. So if you are on a budget, I would recommend that would be a good hotel to choose. Now, the second hotel I stayed in was the Barcelo Hotel. So that was absolutely fantastic. Paid about £100 for that per night. And I had a fantastic bungalow, really nice space overlooking the rocks and the cliffs and the sea. So out of the 3 hotels that I stayed in, I would say that is my favorite one. So I'd certainly go back. And if I was going to go back, I'd check out the Royal Level. So it's like 3 hotels in one, if you like. So, you know, you've got something at the kind of budget end, then you've got mid-tier, and then you've got the exclusive Royal area. So I would definitely go back there. You can hear some birds singing here. It's really cool. Anyhow, let's talk about the third hotel, which was this one, the Eurostars Las Salinas Hotel. This was very good. This was the most expensive out of the 3, 117 per night. And it's got quite a lot of facilities here. So there's a spa, you can get massages, there's some good entertainment in the evening as well. And I didn't get a chance to try the food because it wasn't included in my package. But anyway, it was all right. But I would say, having compared it to Barcelo, I'd definitely choose the Barcelo Hotel over this one. It's a bit nearer to the action, the beaches, and where all the pubs and bars are. So my choice, if I was going to rank them in order, is the Barcelo Resort. Then I would say probably Blue Sea's second. Yeah, I would have this Eurostars as third choice because the Blue Sea was a great budget hotel. Okay, let's talk about bars and restaurants here. So there's just so many bars here. I had a great time, went out one night and ended up in the Dolls Bar. That was very good, very nice. Had some drinks there, and then the other bar I quite liked was the King's Bar. So check that out if you're in town. And when I was hanging out with my mate Baz from Manchester, where else did we go? We ended up in the Flower of Scotland, which was really great. And apparently it was really heaving there during the World Cup football. So that will be a good place to check out as well. And then you got Piero's, which has all the karaoke and live entertainment and music. So that might be worth checking out. And then you've got O'Connor's Irish Bar, which is on a kind of upper level, got some great views over Caleta de Fuste, and that is just on the side of the Barcelo Hotel. So if you look out for where the mini golf is, it's just a bit further down from there. So that's well worth checking out as well. So yeah, there's plenty of bars dotted around. They don't seem to be in one long strip though. That's what I noticed. They seem to be in different places. You might need to walk a little bit in between all the bars here. So yeah, really fantastic. All right, folks, let's talk about food. So the food here has been really good. There's a rich variety. You can get tapas, Italian, you can get steaks, you can get even Indian restaurants here and Chinese restaurants as well too. So there's a really good mix of food. If you like kind of fast food, burgers and chips and things like that, plenty of that. So I would say budget-wise, if you're going to have a meal, I probably paid about 20 euros on average, maybe sometimes a little bit more, about 25, and that should get you like a meal. If you want a burger and chips with like a glass of wine, that might be about 20 euros, or maybe slightly less, 17. And if you're a bit more extravagant, want to go for steaks, they normally start at around 20 euros from what I could see for like a kind of rump steak or a sirloin steak. And although I didn't have one on this particular trip, you'll get an indication of the prices. So check out some of my other videos, because I did film some of the menus, so you can get an idea of how much things cost here. And I would say that a beer is probably around €2.50, so that's how much you're going to pay for a beer. Maybe you can get it cheaper somewhere else, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a bit cheaper in Tenerife, but €2.50 rather seems to be kind of the average price of the beer. All right, guys, so let's talk about beaches. So behind me, as you can see, that is the main Caleta de Fuste beach, and there's some sand dunes over there as well too. So that is a really long stretch of beach, and it's got really nice sand. You've got lifeguards there, and you've got facilities. There's a beach bar, so you've got everything you need in one place. The hammocks and 2 beds, probably around just over €10. And if you get a hammock, an umbrella and a sunbed, just a single one, probably just over €7. So there you have some of the prices. Now, I did take a walk over to the Sheraton. So the Sheraton is just that way. It's probably a 10-minute walk. And I would say that the beaches, they're slightly nicer. You've got like really nice golden sand there. It's nice and fine compared to the beach here. So if you don't mind walking a bit, I would say it's certainly within walking distance. You can check out that beach there, which I preferred. All right, let's talk about other things like restaurants and shopping. So the area which is around O'Connor's Irish Bar, I would say, is like a Centro Plaza. So that's quite good. It's like a plaza, but it's all open air, and you can walk around there. There's a Fun Grube there as well. So if you like shopping, you need some bits and pieces, if you need a tat shop, you can get that there. There's also some restaurants as well. And I found an incredible breakfast over there for like €3.95. That must be like the cheapest breakfast place I've ever seen. So if you're on a bit of a budget, go and check that out. Watch one of my videos where I walk around there, and I'll show you where that place is. So if you need something cheap and cheerful, go and check that out. There is another shopping mall if you go further that way, which I also filmed. So that's a bit towards the Sheraton Hotel. So go and have a look at that, and that's also quite nice as well. That's more of an indoor shopping centre. I wouldn't say it's particularly high end, probably mid-range to slightly on the cheaper side. So it was okay. So check out that video, because I get told off by the security guard for filming in there, which I shouldn't have been doing. So yeah, but I managed to get all the footage that I wanted. So that's all good. So that's what you have in terms of shopping. Like in general, I would say Caleta de Fuste is a area that is really built for tourism. Like they've got nice bungalows here, and if you need some alternative accommodation, there's plenty of self-catering bungalows here. But I would say the issue with it is there's not much here in terms of like culture, or it doesn't seem so authentic. Like if I compare it to Can Picafor, which is where I was maybe like last month or about 6 weeks ago. So you felt like you were in Spain, and it was a bit more authentic. And you've got other things around the Alcudia area, like kind of churches and things like that, which make it just feel like it's got a bit of history. So the thing that I found with Caleta de Fuste was there wasn't anything like that here. So there wasn't anything on like the authentic side of things. So I was hoping there might have been a old town. Maybe I missed it completely, or maybe that was it where all the shops were. But in terms of like, if you want a bit of like history, yeah, maybe this isn't the place for you. If I compare it to Alcudia, at least I had an old town there. So I guess, yeah, that was my kind of recap of the holiday. So overall, if you ask me, would I come back here again? I might do in the future. I think I'd head straight for the Barcelo resort, and then try and book either one of the bungalows like I had. Check out my video on that, or even the Roll Suite, depending on who I'm traveling with. So I'd certainly come back here. I think, yeah, 2 or 3 days here in the sunshine is good. Oh, maybe I should talk about the weather as well. So you might see it's a bit overcast here right now, but I would say, oh, my taxi's going to be here soon. If you wait until about kind of 12 o'clock or 1 p.m, it will disappear. So I expect all the clouds will disappear. I can see some breaks in the clouds now in terms of, I can see some blue sky, and, you know, don't get worried if it's cloudy in the morning, because, yeah, by the day it gets very warm. I'd say it's probably been between 25 to 28 degrees on most days here. So perfect weather. Oh, the one last thing I want to talk about is I've had a great trip here. It's been really nice, and the people have been really friendly. So whenever I've gone to like a bar or gone out to a restaurant or even around the hotel, you know, you can just strike up a conversation. So I met some real characters on this trip. So I want to put a big shout out to Karen, who was staying at the Blue Sea Hotel. Stay in touch, Karen, and Bez from Manchester. We had like a small pub crawl. That was like a crazy night. And all the other people I've met along the way. So big shout out to you all. All right, so I better get going because my taxi should be here soon. My name's Jesse, I'm the Rocky Earth Guy. Hopefully you've enjoyed this quick reflection video. But I thought it would be good to kind of recap everything and share some of the prices. And the last thing I forgot was I came with Jet2 here. That flight return was £146. I think it was good value for money. It was one of the cheapest flights I could get for the few days that I wanted to travel. So yeah, really good. And yeah, it was slightly delayed by 15 minutes or so. There was a bit of chaos at Fuerteventura airport when I arrived. Check out my other video on that. Hopefully it's going to be smooth sailing for this trip on the way back to the airport. All right, so with that, I end this vlog. My name's Jesse, I'm the Rocky Earth Guy. Thanks so much for watching. Join me again soon for more adventures somewhere new. Take care and all the best. Bye.